Welcome to Dark Hunt, where shadows come alive and every story leads you into the unknown. Don't forget to subscribe. Let the hunt begin. The Nightmare Sanatorium. Ethan, Sarah, and Cole never should have come. The abandoned Blackridge Sanatorium sat at the top of a lonely hill, shrouded in mist. Once a place for the mentally ill, it was shut down decades ago after a mass patient disappearance that was never explained. Now, it stood rotting, forgotten, a perfect place for a dare.
I'm telling you, people went missing here.
Sarah whispered as she hugged herself against the cold.
This place isn't just abandoned, it's cursed.
Cole rolled his eyes.
Ghost stories. That's all.
Ethan grinned, hoisting up his camera.
One night, and we'll have the scariest footage ever. We'll be legends.
As they stepped inside, the heavy door groaned shut behind them. None of them noticed that it locked on its own. The air was thick with decay. Peeling wallpaper, overturned gurneys, rusting wheelchairs. Blackridge was a graveyard of the past.
Smells like death.
Sarah muttered, covering her nose. Ethan flipped on his flashlight.
Let's split up and get some footage.
Sarah glared at him.
Have you never seen a horror movie? We stick together.
But Cole had already wandered ahead. The hallway stretched impossibly long. The more they walked, the more it felt like the walls were closing in. Then, a sound, a slow, wet, dragging noise, echoed from the darkness ahead. Cole turned.
Did you hear?
The lights flickered. A figure stood behind him. Sarah screamed. The flashlight beam flickered, catching only glimpses. A figure wrapped in a straitjacket, its head twitching unnaturally, face hidden beneath stained bandages. Cole stumbled back.
Run!
They bolted down the corridor, but when they turned a corner, Cole was gone.
Cole?
Ethan's voice trembled. Where did he go? The whispers started then. You shouldn't have come. Sarah grabbed Ethan's arm.
We have to leave.
But the hallway behind them had changed. The exit was gone. Frantic, they ran into a room filled with rusted surgical equipment. Metal tables were still bolted to the floor, old restraints hanging from them. Something scratched the walls. Sarah's breath hitched.
There's something in here.
A low groan rumbled from the shadows. Ethan swung his flashlight toward the sound and dropped it. A patient, twisted, rotting. It turned its empty eye sockets toward them and whispered,
"Stay."
The door slammed shut. The room grew impossibly dark. Sarah pressed against Ethan.
We have to find Cole.
The whispers turned into screams. They stumbled through another hallway, past old patient rooms. The doors were open, beds untouched, as if waiting for new occupants. Then, a voice, one they knew.
"Sarah, Ethan, Cole."
They ran toward the sound, but when they turned the corner, they stopped. Cole stood at the end of the hall, but his face was wrong. His mouth stretched too wide. His eyes were pits of darkness. His voice came in layers, as if 100 voices spoke at once.
"Join us."
Sarah pulled Ethan back.
That's not him.
The hallway stretched, warping. The walls pulsated like living flesh. Cole, or what had taken his place, took a step forward.
"You belong here now."
They ran. Doors slammed on their own. The screams of long-dead patients echoed through the corridors. Hands reached from the walls, grasping, clawing. They burst into the main lobby, only to see the entrance had vanished. Then the lights went out. A deep voice rumbled through the darkness.
Choose.
Ethan and Sarah clung to each other as the ghostly figures of former patients surrounded them. Sarah whispered.
It's a test.
Ethan's mind raced. W.
What did the asylum want?
Then he saw it. The old nurse's station. A dusty patient ledger lay open. Each name had been crossed out, except two. Ethan and Sarah. Their fate was being decided. A shadow loomed over them. Something monstrous, yet human. Sarah looked at the ledger. She made a decision. Before Ethan could stop her, she grabbed the pen and scratched out her own name. The asylum trembled. The figures turned to her. The darkness wrapped around her, pulling her away. She screamed as she was dragged into the void. Ethan was thrown back. The doors burst open. A single whisper slithered into his ear.
Run.
Ethan woke up outside Blackridge, alone. The sanatorium was gone. Just an empty, desolate hill remained. Shaking, he ran back to town. No one believed him. But that night, as he lay in bed, his phone buzzed. A message from Sarah. "Don't come back." His blood ran cold as he heard the whispers return. And in the reflection of his window, Blackridge Sanatorium still stood, waiting. The end.